It's Friday, the 16th day of June, 2023. Kyle Brink, still working at Wizards of the Coast, still listed as One D&D, and that's still not Bigby on the cover of that product. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live, large and in charge on a Friday morning here in the cloudy, foggy summer beach town that I live in. About 8:30. It's time to take a look at what's going on in the continuing evolution of the OGL/ORC/ whatever you want to call it, post-January 2023 gaming disaster that was January OGL nonsense. What's going on with the big three? Paizo, Kobold Press, and, of course, One D&D. So first, Paizo, any new news on the evolution of the ORC or the upcoming Pathfinder 2E remastered core Player's Handbook and other 2 books? I've been told that the updates will be available through the hardback, but that they will also be available for free from the Paizo free site. Paizo has a site similar to the GM's Guild where they put all their stuff on for the Pathfinder League and the Starfinder League. It's called Armor of Nethys, I believe, or the Library of Nethys. And I have been repeatedly informed by people who regularly visit that site that Paizo is telling everybody that all the updates and revisit stuff will be available. I'll get to that. Chaos Team, sure, why not? Once the Pathfinder 2 E-Core, whatever it's called, goes live. Paizo, what do you have to say to us today? Paizo? If I can get the computer to work. Badam! Okay. Got something coming out called Tomorrow's Seekers. This is something for the Starfinder Society. Looking like they're looking for some new people to lead the Starfinder Society, and they've got some new scenarios coming up from the Starfinder Society for the next round of Starfinder Society official adventures. So that's interesting. They're looking to fill positions to run it, and they're using an adventure to explain the changes that might happen because of this new individual running it. So that's cool. That's clever. There's nothing to do with what we want to talk about, but okay. Come on, Paizo blog. Computer being slow. There we go. We've got something called Meet the Iconics, Yoon. So I guess this is one of the iconic characters that is appearing in the Pathfinder role-playing game 2nd edition Rage of the Elements adventure path that's coming up. We have already talked about Gallows Spire, Endless Waves, Survivors. It is the bullet hell video game coming out from BKOM Studios, set in a Pathfinder location known as Gallows Spire, which I guess is a dungeon. You're gonna multiple levels, possibly infinite procedurally generated levels, where you're gonna choose one of 3 characters to run around and shoot lots of things. Very busy. Gauntlet on meth. Vampire Survivors. If you've ever seen a playthrough of Vampire Survivors, those are all ideas of what a bullet hell type game would be. I don't know if this is going to be top down, side scrolling, if it's going to look more like which type of bullet hell it's going to look like. But yeah, they're doing a bullet hell Pathfinder themed game, so it'll be normal bullet hell, massive visual chaos, but the background will be Pathfinder, vaguely Pathfinder settings, I guess. I don't know how Pathfinder setting-ish you can make this game. I suppose if it's side-scrolling, you could have the background being iconic images from various Pathfinder settings who people who might recognize and go, oh, yeah, that's that tree from the one module. But I think generally, yeah. The Kickstarter for Abomination Vaults is continuing. It looks like as of Monday of this week, it was 75% funded and has recently gone over. Oh no, it's 75% overfunded. Sorry. So it reached what it was its intended goal and is now 75% above. If you remember, one of the people from BKOM Studios reached out to me. Hello, thank you again, to tell me what was going on. So hopefully they will continue to reach out to me and let me know what is going on with the evolution of Pathfinder Abomination Vaults. This is, of course, another thing from BKOM. It's a video game, Pathfinder Diablo, basically. Pathfinder's doing stuff for Pride. The dynamite for the Kickstarter that they were working on was succeeded, so we can't expect the Pathfinder comics to come out being published by Dynamite. One of them includes a crossover with some of the Dynamite characters like Vampirella, which I guess now means Vampirella is canon in Pathfinder. Now we're getting into last week. So as of June 1st, no new updates on the ORC other than it exists. So you went through all that to get all the way down here to be told that as on the 16th day of June, we still have no further information on ORC third draft or what's going to happen with it. We're hoping to have the official "you can use the ORC" sticker soon for people who want to make their stuff available through the ORC. I have tried to explain the ORC as best I could, but there's a lot of legalese in there. But in regards to the two main concerns about the ORC, one, the morality clause, and two, whatever the viral downstreaming was, the best we can understand, the viral downstreaming was basically, people can make money off of your product. And as for the morality clause, it seems to be written in such a way that if you make product for any game but Pathfinder, and it is questionable, I guess it's okay. But if you make stuff for Pathfinder specifically, then it will still fall under the pre-existing morality, hateful content clauses that exist for Pathfinder specific product. Maybe. Don't take my words for it. Try and read it yourself. Hopefully we will have an updated version of it soon so we can actually understand what it says. All right. What's going on with Tales of the Valiant? Nothing. Doesn't look like anything new from Tales from the Valiant since last time we looked at the site. We have the example characters live now. We have this, which we've already read. You can back the Kickstarter, which I think has already surpassed. It is 931,414. Its goal was 100,000, and it is at 931,414 with 7,814 backers and 7 days left to go. Close to the $1 million mark, might hit the $1 million mark, but I don't see it surpassing the $1 million mark. We are on the fourth round of the play test. You can only get the fourth round of the play test if you have kickstarted it. It may or may not be available later on the Tales from the Valiant site. We have the example characters. If you haven't seen them yet, you can download this for free from the Valiant site. We looked at it last week. It's pretty much 5e. If there was any question if Tales of the Valiant was not going to be just a 5e retro clone, just all you have to do is look at the character record sheets and pretty much, yeah. What's interesting, though, is some of the names. Now, if you remember a couple weeks ago, they did that whole thing with Drow, and we couldn't use this copyright and stuff like that. But then you look at these example characters, and you're like, but this name's how's that different from Drow? Whatever. I'm sure it'll play out as we continue to await the final evolution of Tales from the Valiant. I think the only other complaint about Tales of the Valiant right now is maybe they should have waited longer before releasing it. If they're smart, they'll release it a month after D&D 2024 comes out. That way they can do the Pathfinder thing and just gobble up everybody who abandons D&D 2024. much like Pathfinder did after the 4th edition wars. Me now, the victim of 1,000 4th edition wars. Bam, bam, bam. All right, moving on to King of the Castle and the potential threat to the throne. What's going on with Unearthed Arcana 1 D&D? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. We know you're waiting for this. Nothing. No new updates since the last update from Jeremy Crawford. So as of today, this is what we know. It is still not supposed to be called 1 D&D. It is still being referred to as 1 D&D. Crawford even called it 1 D&D, despite saying it was never meant to be called 1 D&D. So as of today, it doesn't have a name. The closest thing it has to a name is that it's going to be 5th edition 2024 and 5th edition 2014, and they are completely separate but the same. Now, I am not clever enough to try and translate Jeremy Crawford's speech into normal English. So all I can say is what it sounds like Crawford was saying is, yes, you got to buy the new shit. Then there was all that song and dance about digital and printing delays and blah, 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 blah. You know, Jeremy Crawford has the amazing super ability to take 2 minutes of information and spread it out over 40 minutes of fluff. You know, all the while with that condescending grin of his going, I don't fucking care. I'm still going to get your money, you damn marks. So what is the current status of 2024 D&D? It doesn't have a name. There will be a player's handbook released sometime after January. We don't know when, but it'll be out. And it'll be pretty much the same way that they did Bigby. There's no question that that is accurate. They have said as much. I'm sorry to all the people who are continuing to hold on to the belief that this is not going to happen. I'm sure there are still people out there who think this is that. I don't know why, but who knows? Yeah, it's same thing as they're doing with Bigby. You can order the digital copy of the player's handbook right when it comes out on D&D Beyond. And when you order that, you will automatically have access to the physical copy of the player's handbook when it becomes available. It'll be mailed to you. Of course, you still have to pay shipping. And it'll be like $65-$70. And that'll include the completely digital upgrade for Player's Handbook 2.0 2024 to your D&D Beyond account, which you'll be paying $30 a month to continue to use. Or you can wait. You could wait until the physical copy is available, whether that be on the D&D Beyond site, Walmart site, whatever. And you can buy the physical copy. And if you want the digital copy, then it'll cost you $10 more or $20 more. But yeah, they would prefer that you buy the digital copy, and then they'll, send you the physical copy at some point in time. As for the other two books and which order we're going to get them, we don't know. We don't know anything about the new Monster Manual. We know very little about the new DM's Guide, except it will contain 2 additional new chapters and at least 60 pages of art. The Player's Handbook is looking at least 30 extra pages of art. So just think about that. The Player's Handbook, normal size, plus 30 extra pages of just art. That just seems like such a waste. Oh, wow. Here's this full color, full page picture of a Warhammer. Wow. I did not need pictures for everything in the book, guys. But that is the current status of 1 D&D. And now for the potential contender to the throne, Dagger to the Heart. What's going on with Dagger to the Heart? We don't know. Why is this so fuzzy? Or is that my eyes? No, it's fuzzy. Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. That didn't help. Sorry. Yeah, Dagger to the Heart. We will know in Gen Con, which is in August. We know Mercer's working on Dagger to the Heart. We know it's going to be a fantasy game. We know it has absolutely nothing to do with Illuminated Worlds. I talked about this yesterday. And that it's coming out, or at least the preview's coming out August, Gen Con, most likely D20. Mercer is working on this one. He's not working on Illuminated Worlds. Okay, so that brings us up to today. Why is this so fuzzy? I don't know. I apologize. Here, let's just fix that right now.